This lesson is on adages and proverbs. Adages and proverbs are sayings in the English language that reflect wisdom and truth and are based upon generations of experience. So that means they are passed down from your grandparents, great-grandparents, so on and so forth. They are short and to the point and convey a deep meaning. They mostly convey a moral lesson and are witty, which is why they have lasted for so long. So what is a proverb? A proverb is a statement of practical wisdom expressed in a simple way. It is saying that offers advice or instructions on how to live your life. So the proverbs almost always have a moral lesson in for you. A proverb is more common in everyday language than an adage. So when we go over the examples, boys and girls, I am sure that you will recognize more proverbs than adages. Here is an example of a proverb. A penny saved is a penny earned, by Benjamin Franklin. The advice is, it is as useful to save money that you already have as it is to earn money for you to invest wisely. Proverb example, a leopard cannot change its spots. Think about what you think that means. Well, the advice in the proverb is, it is impossible for a bad or unpleasant person to become good or pleasant. So live your life right. So that means the proverb says that people cannot really change, that they are who they are. Now, let's take a look at an adage. An adage is a saying that expresses some kind of truth about human nature or how things happen in life. It is used to remind others about something that is believed to be true. Let's look at some examples. Birds of a feather flock together. Raise your hand if you've heard that before. I know you've heard that a lot of times growing up. What this adage means is truth about how things happen in life. People of the same character or likeness tend to gather together and become friends. So you'll really recognize that when you start to get into junior high and high school, boys and girls, when you're either playing sports or in the band or joining different clubs, you will start to have friendships with people who you have things in common with. Sometimes, not all times. Adage example. No news is good news. Truth about how things happen in life is not hearing about a situation suggests that nothing bad has happened. Okay? So like if you are waiting to hear about a grade and you didn't hear about the grade, it might not mean that you have a bad grade. It could mean that you still have a good grade. So not hearing the news doesn't make it bad. Let's practice. Each of the following slides show an adage or a proverb. I want you to discuss it with a partner. For my in-school learners. For my at-home learners, you could discuss this with somebody at home. Think about what each one means and then what you think it means. Then I am going to click on the actual meaning. Are you ready? Here we go. A watched pot never boils. So I'm going to pause myself now at school, and if you're at home, pause me and discuss with somebody what you think a watched pot never boils means. So this is an example of an adage, boys and girls. A watched pot never boils means things you look forward to seem to take a long time to happen. Okay, so if you're sitting and watching a pot of water try to boil, I know when Mrs. Vasquez is in a hurry to make supper and she's boiling that pot of water to cook her noodles, it seems like it's taking forever for that water to boil. But if I'm off doing something else, it almost appears that the water is boiling quickly. Well, it's the same thing. If you are looking so forward to something happening, I know my son Mason always says when we're on our way to a trip, it seems like it takes forever to get to that place because he's so excited and has so much anticipation to go. And then the ride home almost seems to go quicker. even though it's the same amount of distance. So a watched pot never boiled actually means things you look forward to seem to take a long time to happen. All right, let's do another one. You live and you learn. Pause the video, talk with somebody, and see what you think that means. So it is a proverb. It gives advice. It means you can learn from your mistakes. So let's think of an example. Okay, how about Mrs. Vasquez falling out of bed? I fell out of bed and I bumped my head and I hit it on my nightstand. So I learned from that mistake and I moved my nightstand away from my bed. So I lived the experience, I learned from it, and I made a change from it. Here we go with the next one. Ooh, boy, a cake. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Pause and talk about it. This is an adage. It actually means once you've eaten your cake, you won't have it anymore. It's used for expressing the impossibility of having something both ways if those two ways conflict, okay? So I do think of Mr. Mateo, my middle son, with this example. So the adage is you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, he always wants to play with Maya's toys, but he doesn't want to let her play with his toys. So he's not sharing with her. So he can't have his cake and eat it too. I always say to him, you can't play with her toys and then not allow her to play with your toys. That is an example of this adage. Next one, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Go ahead and pause and talk about it. It is a proverb. It means don't hurt those who take care of you, or they may not want to take care of you anymore. So think at home, who really does a lot for you at home? Maybe it's even a big brother or big sister. You want to try not to be mean to those people and hurt those people's feelings because they do a lot of things for you. And maybe they'll stop doing nice things for you if you continue to be mean to them. Your next example. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Pause the video. This is a proverb, boys and girls. It means you can't expect to achieve something if you've never even tried to do it. Okay, so it means take a chance, go out and try something, and maybe you'll have a really great experience and learn something. The best things in life are free. Go ahead and pause and talk. This is an adage. It means the things in life that don't cost money are the most enjoyed. Examples are beauty, love, friendship, and joy. So I'm thinking about my weekend that I just had. We had my husband's brother, who is visiting from Florida, come in, and we had a simple picnic and just enjoyed each other. And that was one of the best things that happened to me this weekend. And it was absolutely free for me to hang out with my brother-in-law and spend some time with him. So I totally agree that usually the best things in life are free. Curiosity killed the cat. Pause the video. That is a proverb. It means don't be nosy because it can lead to danger. So think about this. I think about Maya, and she always wants to come over and see what I'm cooking for supper, and she gets very close to the stove. She could actually get hurt one day because she's so curious about what I'm making that she could burn herself on the stove. That's an example of curiosity killed the cat. Oh boy, the early bird catches the worm. Go ahead and pause the video and think what you think the early bird catches the worm means. It is a proverb, boys and girls. It means if you start something early, you have a better chance of succeeding at this. I think of Mr. Vasquez. He loves this proverb. He is early to everything, and he always says he gets the best seats, and he loves to be the early bird. Now, I want you to read the following statements and think of the meanings of the adages and proverbs in the content. So we're practicing. Here we go. Although I was still mad at my cousin for losing my book, I decided to let sleeping dogs lie and not mention it again. So we're going to practice our sign language here. If you think it's A, you're going to show me a closed fist with your thumb up. If you think it's B, you're going to put your 4 pointing fingers up and cross your thumb over. Okay? So let sleeping dogs lie. A, it is better to not restart an old argument. Or B, it is better to let your relative's pet sleep on the floor. Show me. A is the correct answer. To let sleeping dogs lie actually means it's better to not restart an old argument. Practice number 2. When I pack my lunch, I always remind myself that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Again, A and B. A is an apple away keeps the doctor away, telling the doctors if you eat an apple every day, it keeps them from scolding you, yelling at you. Or B, eating an apple every day keeps you in good health. Show me. B is the correct answer, boys and girls. Apples are healthy. They're your superfruit, and they do help to keep you healthy. Next example. Dad said that while the rest of us are out grocery shopping, he's going to make hay while the sun shines and take a nap. What does that mean? He's going to make hay while the sun shines and takes a nap. A, the best place to take a nap is outside in the sun. Or B, take advantage of an opportunity while you have a chance to do so. Show me. It is B. To make hay while the sun shines and take a nap means that you take an opportunity while you have a chance. Next example. When Danny asked his grandmother why she saved used wrapping paper, she replied, "Waste not, want not." Does that mean A, if you waste, just go buy more? B, if you don't waste anything, you'll always have enough? Show me. Once again, boys and girls, that was B. My grandma used to say this a lot. Waste not, want not. That means if you do not waste anything and use all of something, you will always have enough. Next example. That boy pushed me yesterday and I'm going to get him back today. My mom responded, "No, you are not. 2 wrongs do not make a right." What does 2 wrongs do not make a right mean? Does it mean A, it is never right to wrong someone, even if they've wronged you first? Or B, you will not get even trying to make it right? What do you think? That one is A. I'm sorry, I read B wrong. You might have been confused. So it means 2 wrongs don't make a right. It is never okay to hurt somebody just because they hurt you. Next example. The new boy in our class wears glasses and reads many books. I thought he must be smart. My friend warned me, don't judge a book by its cover. What does that mean? A, don't think a book is a good read without reading it first. Or B, don't make judgment based on only appearances. Show me. That is correct. Don't judge a book by its cover means do not judge somebody on what kind of person they're going to be by what they look like on the outside. Our next example. I was sad to see my brother leave for college, but I knew I would be happy to see him when he returned because absent makes the heart grow fonder. Is that A, you feel more affection for those you love when you're away from them? Or B, your heart gets bigger when you're away? Show me. A is correct. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. You do feel more affection for those you love when they're away from you.